Hello, everyone. Hope you're all doing well. So, who do we have here? We have Muhammad Ansari Khan. Says Muhammad says, "Hello, sir. I'm 20, male India. Sir, from when I am affected by OCD, from them or then, I'm getting confusion in understanding things. Like I have to read a sentence or word twice to understand deeply. Muhammad, can you rephrase this and let me understand it a little bit better? I can imagine what you're saying. You're saying since you understood that you have OCD, everything that you read, you got to read it two times every sentence so you can then understand it deeply, clearly. Is that what you're saying? Or try a different way so I can really understand what you're saying. Like from them or from they. I don't know what really that means, Muhammad. Try again. So we have a second person who's joined us. Let me know who you are, where you're tuning in from, how old you are. Muhammad says the reacting brain is not making me more you're saying that because your brain is busy with intrusive thoughts, you're not focused, you're distracted. Is that what you're saying? And because you're distracted, you got to read every line, every sentence two times, every word to understand deeply. Is that what you're saying? Sister, your voice is not coming clearly. Really? Are you sure? The mic? Okay, hang on. Everything seems to be okay on the mic. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me now? So you can hear me now, right? IQ test is okay, good. A Blaze Monkey says yes. All right, then, Muhammad, are you also hearing me okay? Okay. So, Muhammad, did you understand my question? Are you saying that because you're distracted in your mind, there's so many intrusive thoughts or thoughts that you don't like show up that makes you not focused when you're reading something? So you have to read every word two times to understand it. And that makes you not focused. Is that what you're meaning, Muhammad? Oh, okay. Muhammad says yes. Yes, what? Yes, yes to the sound, or yes to that's what you mean? Muhammad says yes. Intrusive thoughts show up constantly. All right. What are those intrusive thoughts? What's the topic of the intrusive thoughts? Any kind of intrusive thoughts, like something's going to happen to your exam, or you're going to fail it, or something's going to happen to your father or mother or yourself, or you're not going to find the right girl. What topic? Or there's sexual thoughts. What is it? So basically, I have concentration problem due to OCD. Yeah, but it doesn't tell me what you know, and I got to know what you know to be able to address it. It says at types of OCD, all types of OCD themes I have experienced, so mainly HOCD. There we go. So now I understand. All right. Mohammed, what is the chance that you can make an appointment with me on Skype? Do you Can you afford it? Because this topic is a long discussion. It can't be done in about 2 minutes here. So let me know the answer, and then I will also read the other people's questions. RQKZ says, "How you, Mehran? Thank you very much for asking, but try to remind me about yourself, age, gender, where you're tuning in from, because I'm sure you haven't been here for a while, and I forget the screen name." A Blaze Monkey says, "Every time I start a new relationship, I feel like the person is perfect and I'm going to ruin it. Since I was young, I have always idolized the idea of being in a relationship." A Blaze Monkey is 17 years old, male from England. Uh, Blaze Monkey, when you say since I was young, I mean, 17-year-old, you still haven't really clearly know who you are exactly, what kind of standards you have, and what kind of then let alone knowing what kind of girl you want. So your idea of a perfect woman is just aesthetics. She looks beautiful, she smiles at you, suddenly she's on top of the world, she's the best of the best. Nobody can be better than her. You fall in love. This is what happens at this age. You don't have any criteria to qualify the woman. All you care about if she's stylish, if she's got nice clothes on, if she looks beautiful, is her hair is just this and that, and her looks and her smile at you or attention to you. That's all. And these are something that you can come up with, exactly same thing or same feelings towards any other woman at your age. So this idea that you always wanted to be in a relationship, it's fine, it's great. But when you say since childhood, between now and when you were like a kid, 14 years old, it's just 3 years. So give yourself the time to really understand what your taste like, what kind of woman you want, how you really qualify them, what you expect from them, what you think you can offer them, and all these before you think that you're going to mess it up. Why would you mess it up? 17-year-old, your girlfriend probably going to be what? 16, 15, 17, 18 maximum. At that time, they have a hard time to know who they are themselves, let alone expecting certain wisdom that you are afraid to not be able to deliver and mess up the relationship. Who do you think you are? They're another 17-year-old, 15, 16-year-old girl, person. What's their expectation? For you to be nice, a gentleman, respect them, make him feel comfortable, make him feel safe, and be nice with them and be funny or be fun, have fun with them, have conversation with them. They don't expect much, just like you don't expect much at that age. You just got to be a decent human being, a good man, good young man, and take care of them, have nice conversations, maybe if you go out for dinner together, maybe you go to cinema, maybe you have tea or something. So your attitude is what makes it work or not. If you're selfish and you just want to have sex with them and you don't have fun with them, you don't talk with them, you don't share life story with them together, both of you, then you won't bond. And when you don't bond, that's when messes it up, because the boy or the girl is only thinking about what they would like to see, what makes them pleasure, but what's pleasurable to them, rather than what the other one likes. So these are important things to focus on. If you focus on that, and if it gets messed up, it doesn't work, it's not on you, it's on her. Because what do you think? Girls are perfect, they exactly know what they are, and they're going to be so all faithful and all that? No, they're at 17, they don't know what the hell is going on. They don't necessarily know themselves, let alone know what kind of man they want, or what is a real man, or what's the behavior of a real man. They just want somebody to be nice to them, polite with them, respect them, make them feel comfortable, safe, and be a good friend. And then whatever happens, it happens between you two. But someone who would be focused on them, not just on themselves. And that goes both ways. And Muhammad says, Sir, would you please basically tell me how to be concentrated, calm, and have a sharp brain? Well, if it depends. If you are not going through an OCD glitch or intrusive thoughts, an HOCD, well, then being able to concentrate and being calm and so on is got a different technique. But if you are unfocused because of HOCD and OCD of subsets of some kind, then we got to know which one it is, which you told me it's HOCD, and we got to deal with HOCD. So your knowledge about what HOCD is and how it behaves in the brain, and the understanding and complete clear wisdom and knowledge and understanding about that you're not the brain, and therefore you're not what the brain makes, which is thoughts. You're not the brain, and you're not the thoughts. And the brain is not you, and the thoughts are not you. You're totally independent system. If you understand that, then you don't care about what intrusive thought shows up in the head, because it's the brain's thoughts, not your thoughts. When you separate this and understand it clearly, and then you go on and understand the components of the brain that is actually causing you this kind of a confusion, and to understand in midbrain basal ganglia, you understand the striatum, you understand the effect of all these three circles of reward finding center, goal finding center, reward finding center, habit center, which are all on top of each other. You understand the effect of them on each other and how they affect the OCD, and you understand what caudate nucleus is designed to do and what happens when it malfunctions. If you understand all these components, then you understand intrusive thoughts means nothing. It's annoying, but it has no reality to it, actuality to it, and it's irrelevant to you. But it's annoying. It's given. However, when you understand this, then there are certain techniques that you can use, such as techniques, the 4 steps of Dr. Schwartz, and you can learn how to rewire your brain through neuroplasticity. The conversation is quite elaborate if we want to discuss it from A to Z. However, at this point, you should focus on learning about HOCD and how to be able to recognize the components of the brain involved in that, how to be able to watch the videos that I have on this channel, over 500-600 of them, to find out and see clearly that you're not the brain and brain is not you. It's two separate systems. And the experiences of Dr. Speary, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Libet, Dr. Owen, these are neuroscientists and neurosurgeons, and I have a video on that again. You can learn all these information, and then because of that information, you will not be duped to a thought when it shows up to think, well, I have to find out what it means. Why is it here? Is it about me? Why is it about me? All of that will go to nowhere because you realize that it's a thought. It's got nothing to do with you. It's what the brain does, makes thoughts. And that information sets you free and you relax and you don't care. You just learn how to rewire the brain so these sort of intrusive thoughts will be conditioned not to show up as often or at all. Now, we have a gracious super chat with from Grey Jedi Serena. Oh my goodness. Hello there. You haven't been here for a couple of times, and I'm delighted that you could make it. And thank you for the super chat, supporting the channel. And let's see what you have. It says, my mother passed away, unexpectedly in December 2022. Oh, I see, last year. I went back to work that same week because I couldn't be at home. I was helping take care of her, and I'm moving to Colorado in January, this January, right? Well, yeah, obviously. You're not talking about last year. So last year, your mom passed away. God bless her soul. And then that was in December. And then you were taking care of her. You were helping her and take care of her. But you couldn't be home because she was not there anymore. Therefore, you're moving to Colorado in January this year. I'm conflicted about leaving my dad. Your dad is still there. A very interesting dilemma. I have a similar position to some extent. And it is quite of a challenge between guilt of wanting to live your own life and the love that you have for your parents, in this case, your mom, for all the things they've done for you during their lifetime. And yet, all through your life, our lives, our parents are like gods because we were a child and they took care of us, nourished us, protected us, and we remember all those things. They made us comfortable. They educated us. They helped us, clothed us, fed us. So they were like gods. They would make decisions for us and make life easy for us. And now, when they're at their old age, I don't know how old your mom was when she passed away, but in my case, my mom is 90 years old. So the conflict that I have is to recognize that the God that I consider mom used to be when I was a child and growing up, and still have that image of her, is not the same person today who is in some ways like a child. And so I treat mom like as she always was, cognitively perfect and in control and strong and beautiful and an authority. But at the same time, she's looking to me to be the authority. So the image I have of mom in the past with her actuality today, I have a conflict. I don't know how to treat or behave. Accepting that mom is not as she used to be, to us seems to be disrespect. Wanting to continue your own life and your schedules makes you feel selfish and guilty because this goddess that helped you all throughout your life is now alone in a care center. And if you want to go there every day, which I do, it cuts your day in half, and there is nothing else that you can really, with ease, enjoy or accomplish, because your duty comes first, taking care of your mom. So all that creates this kind of a conflict, as you're talking about it. The conflict between your need to live your life and the conflict between the fact that you're neglecting someone who has made you who you are, had a lot to do with who you have turned out to be. The feeling of guilt and selfishness, the feeling of ego and necessary selfishness to have your own life, you don't know what to do. If you attend to mom, your own life is not going to be smooth moving. If you attend to your stuff and enjoy your life, you feel guilty that you're enjoying, yet your mom is there and you can make things easier for her. I think this is the conflict you're talking about. And now that your mom is gone, you're thinking about, my dad has been with mom for so long and he is used to mom, so he must be suffering. He must be suffering just as much, if not more, than me. Yet, I got to go to Colorado for reasons unknown to me, but known to you. Perhaps is a therapeutical move in a way at some point, because you can't stand being and going to that home that mom was there and taking care of your dad, because it hurts you, it devastates you. She's not there, and all the memories drives you nuts. At the same time, if I'm not here, I'm in Colorado, how can I take care of my dad? I left him alone after mom is gone. Who's going to take care of him? These are probably what goes on through your life. How far are you from Colorado, from where you are? Where are you? And Gray Jedi was graciously again added another $2 for us. Ah, Gray Jedi says, my mom was only 65 when she passed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. You know, I don't have much to say about this because it's so personal and so important. There is no magic. The only thing I can tell you is that, for whatever it's worth, you're not alone, but you're also not an authority to expect from yourself to magically be able to handle everything and your own emotions. There has to be a you in one piece and healthy to be able to actually give any service to your dad or mom or whomever. So if you focus on the guilt and the selfishness and what I do, what I should do, Colorado or dad, you got to understand that if you're not healthy, if you're not around, none of these things that you're concerned about matters. They would not even exist, because everything exists because you exist. Because you are here, you give importance to all other matters. Because you're important, these other matters affect you, your life, and you're important, so those other matters must be important. There's no ifs and buts about it. However, if you don't take care of yourself, you would have no abilities or mood or power to take care of anybody else or help them in any way, shape, or form. So I guess we come back to us, to the center. The center is you, your consciousness, your habits, the way you are, what you like. And everything else is around you. You're the center. If the center is not taken care of, doesn't go to Colorado, it will perish here while alive, because cannot function and the center starts crumbling. So you need to go to Colorado. Now, how can you take care of that or make any arrangements? Depends on how you're set up financially. So you can maybe create certain kind of a system and service for that to be taken care of. And every once in a while, not too long, you come and see that. In that way, you're free from guilt or selfishness because you're actually going to visit that. And at the same time, you have created a system that somebody, some entity is taking care of the needs of that, uh, even it's ever so now and then. But you have done some system, you've created some system. Again, I don't know how far are you from Colorado, like where you are, where your dad is, to Colorado. That could make it a little bit easy for you to once in a while commute. But nevertheless, I think you should go to Colorado. Your dad is not ill, he's just emotionally right now challenged, and rightfully so. But if you don't go to Colorado, you won't be able to service your dad as good as you would have want to because too much emotions are there and you would become depressed. So right this moment, you need to go do what you think you should be going, the reasons you have to go into Colorado. You go there, rebuild yourself and live your life, new challenges, new place, and then you will air this emotion that has hit you suddenly, and then you will every once in a while come and visit dad and things will become balanced. At this time, you need not focus on what should be expected from you, but focus on how to keep yourself together and develop yourself so in turn later on you can serve your dad in a different way but perhaps with a better quality. I wonder if this was helpful to you, Serena. And Blaze Monkey says, I feel like I have low self-esteem. I've displayed most of the symptoms, Mehran. What can I do to improve my self-esteem? Do you have any advice? I feel like I don't really like who I am as a person. Well, Blaze Monkey, if I knew your name would be better. Grey Jedi says I would be a 12-hour drive from my dad if I moved to Colorado. My dad is healthy for his age. Everyone go hit the line or the like, I guess, like button. Thank you. Okay, thank you for that. Well, then, if, as I thought, if your dad is healthy, you, without any guilt or second thought, go to Colorado for whatever reason you think you should go there and rebuild yourself and rebuild your life. No guilt, nothing else. Your dad is doing his thing. He's dealt with it by now, pretty much, at least in some ways. It's almost a year, and he's at peace with it, however it is. The fact is, Serena, we have no choice when something like this happens. You cannot live in guilt when you taste the fact that when you're free that particular day, you don't have to take care of your mom or your dad. You actually feel a bit guilty, but at the same time, you feel happy that you're living. You're not confined to certain duties that has to be done for an unforeseen number of days in the future. As much as you love your parents and you find yourself obligated and lovingly, willingly, voluntarily want to do whatever you can do to bring their quality of life higher, but at the same time, it diminishes the quality of your life. If it's a continuous and nobody else is going to be able to pick up the slack when you want to take a few days off, and even if you take a day off, is one day off, the next day again, it's breaking up all your plans and all the smooth moving throughout your life. So no guilt, no thoughts. It is your right, and you need that, because we have no authority to fix anything. We have no power to fix anything. I used to be very sensitive about the things that were happening in the world, things happening around the world in different countries, oppression on people by the governments, perhaps racism, perhaps lack of medicine, lack of security, children, women being, abused, beaten, and many other things. It always made me very concerned, very angry that I couldn't do anything. Made me angry for what they were doing to people, and also made me angry because of injustice, and then made me angry because I couldn't do anything. And it was really draining me down, Serena, to the point that one day I said, I'm not God. There is a God. It's his job to take care of all these things. For whatever reason, if he's not taking care of it or allows the oppressors to get away with this, like many other things happening in this world today against all of us. But I have no power to do what I wish to do. And if I don't have any power, means I don't have any authority to fix things. I cannot feel responsibility for what's happening. With all the atrocities and all the unfairness and all the, you know, violence and so on that was happening to all these people in different parts of the world, as I would be interested to understand their history and their, the political venue of the world, I came to the conclusion that as sensitive as I am and as caring as I am, but I have no power to do anything. If I have no power to do anything, if I have no authority to fix things and repair things for them and make things better for them, I cannot feel responsible. That changed lots of things, freed me from this need to do something, this responsibility of doing something to make people's lives safe. So I suggest to you to understand that what has happened has not been in your hand. You couldn't have done anything. As you said, your mother just passed unexpectedly, even if it was something that, would be lengthy, but still, it's not within our power to stop it or create it or whatever. And if that's not within your power, you cannot stop your life feeling guilty of any kind, and you're not responsible to fix it for everybody. You do what you can, and that's given. But anything beyond that is going to destroy the only short journey of life that you have, and you're entitled to live that in full while you take care of your loved ones as much as you can. In this case, you did what you could do for your mom, and now your dad is healthy, doesn't need your babysitting pretty much anymore, at least not now. Maybe when he gets older, and that by that time you have maybe figured out somehow that you can help him. But at this moment, you should feel free, without any obligation, without any guilt, without any regret, to go about where you want to go, accomplish what you want to accomplish, experience what you want to experience, and then make sure once in a while, instead of driving 12 hours, just take a plane, go see your dad for a few days, and you will feel relieved, and the weight comes off your shoulder because you've done something for your dad. You go back for another month or so, and you come back again. And that would be manageable, and you will not have any guilt in that way at all, even if you think you should, but you shouldn't. So I hope that has done something for you. Serena says, yes, it was very helpful Thank you for listening. My pleasure. My pleasure. My pleasure. So we go back to Blaze Monkey. He says, I feel like I have low self esteem. I've displayed most of the symptoms, Mehran. What can I do to improve my self esteem? Do you have any advice? I feel like I don't really like who I am as a person. Well, the wonderful thing about us human beings is that if we don't like who we are, we can always change it. We can always develop through simple things. First of all, your lack of self esteem naturally comes from lack of confidence. And lack of confidence comes for many reasons, and there are many ways that you can fix it. First of all, you got to get yourself educated. How old are you? I forgot. That's why I asked 17 years old. Okay, 17 years, you have no business thinking that you have low self esteem because you're comparing yourself with all these other big monkeys here and there, and you think that they've accomplished it. They just happen to be big. And at 17, you shouldn't compare yourself with anybody. At any age, you shouldn't compare yourself with anybody. But if you think that other ones have actually big self esteem, no, they're just a little bit more outgoing. So, what you can do is this: find projects that you love and you love to learn about them and accomplish them. Anything small that you can accomplish, anything small, it doesn't have to be big projects, it doesn't have to be big thing, it can be small things during the day, very small things during the day, like clean up your house, your room, or do your studies, or um, dress nicely if you want to go to a party, be a gentleman, or have some standards, treat girls nicely, or anything that is a small thing that you can be helpful or you can accomplish in during that day, do it. Because every little accomplishment, even not the actual accomplishment, the effort that you put in accomplishing something, that brings lots of changes and confidence in you. Hmm? It gives you dopamine, and the dopamine gets you feel amazing, like, something good's happening. So the more little things that you accomplish, the more you feel better about yourself on that day. Then, if your parents agree and you are fit or you are healthy and there's no in limitations that way, you can start training, going to the gym, and in moderation. At your age, you don't want to lift too heavy, but you want to continuously train your through workout, build your body to look a little bit stronger, and that gives you more confidence. Therefore, it gives you more self-esteem. It's all about imagery at this age, but you can enhance it by learning some things that you're interested to learn and bring that knowledge in yourself. And that knowledge itself, plus the gym and activities and accomplishing lots of little things during the day, it will help you to feel amazingly confident, and the self-esteem will naturally go high. And before you know it, because you've been accomplishing all these little things, you become used to knowing that you can do things and you can accomplish things. And that fuels you to have this propensity, gravitation, appetite to take on other challenges and projects and look forward to do your best to bring them to fruition. So before you know it, you actually increase your self-esteem and your interest to do things, and you believe you're capable because you've been doing lots of little things that you bring them to fruition during the day. So you're reconditioning, rewiring yourself towards success and ability to actually perform and accomplish things. And that's how you get your self-esteem back, by these little things that I just talked about. And Amin Saj, all right, says, Hi, Meran. Hello there. Please don't forget to let me know your age, gender, where you're tuning in from. These are the least amount of information I can have to know who I'm talking to, how to address you, and who you are, and so on and so forth. 22 from Bosnia. Oh, Oh, wonderful. I mean, from Bosnia and Herzegovina, right? And Thomas Joseph says, wow, again? Yeah, yeah, why not? Just for a short time. Then I want to watch a movie. Yeah. Back for a second live. Yeah, that's right. Amin says, yeah, okay. It's not Amin, is it? It's Armin. It's Armin, Armin. Hmm. All right, guys. You got to come up with other questions because we have IQ tester says Mike. Okay, okay, yeah, all right. The IQ tester didn't have any question. And RQKZ, uh, oh, here it is. So, sir, my anxiety has went all the way down with HOCD. The only problem I am dealing with now is images. How do I stop it? You don't. You don't. Stop this thinking of you got to stop things. Do you stop assholes in the street before you can go about your business? Do you stop the people who are wearing clothing that is not in line with your, expectations or standards? Do you stop the people who are involved in activities that is not in line with your values in the street before you go about your business, to school, to work, this and that? Do you stop the people who are talking about in a language that is not appropriate, where there are ladies and children or other people, are going about their businesses? And do you stop that? You don't stop. You understand that these things can exist. So you hear them, you're not interested, you move on to your direction, wherever it is that you want to go and accomplish what you want to accomplish. So this idea of wanting to stop everything to meet your standards or make you comfortable, it's useless. It's just waste of energy and cannot be done anyhow. You cannot stop other people where other people are actually in control of starting whatever they have started and stopping whatever they have stopped. If it's not initiated by you, you cannot stop it. If it's not started by you, you cannot stop it. It's separate from you. Same thing with thoughts. You did not start the thought, and you did not start the anxiety to want to stop it. Is that what you're saying? Images. You don't start the images to expect you to stop it. The images are started by the brain. And just like the people outside, that they are starting some function and activities that you didn't start, so you cannot stop what somebody else has started. Same thing. If the images are there, but you didn't create them, then you can't expect yourself to stop something that is started by something else, in this case, your brain. And your brain and you are not the same. You're not the brain. Brain is not you. It's a separate system. So the brain has started something, images. All you can do, no worries about stopping it. Just say, I judge the image. Is it useful to me? No. So if it's not, okay, thank you very much. I see what it is. It's garbage. I'm not interested. And you refocus on whatever else it is that will help you to accomplish something that you've set out to accomplish on that day. That's how you deal with these images, thoughts, suggestions that the brain come up. You don't analyze them. You don't data hunt them. You don't think, oh, it's here. I got to do something. It means something. It doesn't mean shit. It just means the brain is at its doing its thing, which is making thoughts, images, suggestions, garbage. You're supposed to know you're the ultimate power here. You're the judge. You're the one. Your awareness, which is content of your consciousness, your awareness, your authority of judging thoughts, qualities, and kinds, decides if this thought is useful to you, is in line with your values or not, and if he's going to allow, if the awareness is going to allow this thought to become a reality in an actual world, because thoughts and images and all these suggestions, they're all just in virtual world. They have no existence. It is you with your attention and actually act on them that can give them an actuality and reality to. Otherwise, on its own, it can never do anything, harm you, or cause anything. You just may be annoying. That's it. So the fact that you see these images, you don't worry about stopping them. You just recognize that these images are not in line with your values, and then you refocus to something else that you want to accomplish on that day, and then go on. That's it. You don't data hunt it, you don't analyze it, you don't question why it's there. It's a malfunction of the brain that is there without you actually wanting to be initiated. That's all you have to do. Images, thoughts, suggestions can exist. Other people with different clothing, different activities, different taste in food, different lifestyles and inclinations can exist. We all can exist. If you accept that everything can exist, then you live your life based on choosing or vetoing, not about what exists or doesn't. They shouldn't exist so I can have comfort. No, you can have comfort by using the ultimate power that you have, which is choices and vetoes. So if something is not in your, it's not palatable to you, it's not within your values, you don't choose it. You veto it. You go on with whatever else is you're supposed to be doing. Yeah? All right. I hope you understood what I was trying to relay to you. And Thomas says, I think I'm back to normality. Look, this word normal, it doesn't need to be here, because you're normal whether you're being hit with HOCD or not, whether intrusive thoughts show up or not. You are normal. It's just you got to understand how to manage the things that are not in line with your values. And there's so many things that we handle during the day that they're not in agreement with our way of life, or they're not in line with our values, and we don't think about them too. We just handle them. But when it comes to something that the brain conjures up, suddenly you flip the handle, flip off the handle. Like, no, you don't have to overreact or make it a big deal out of it. Amin says, I also have had low self-esteem issues, like comparing myself to people on social media. Well, it's on you. You don't have to compare yourself. But why do you compare yourself? What for? What's the purpose of comparing yourself? Every single human being is unique. There's so many things they can do that you can't do. There's so many things you can do they can't do. And this is not something that you know what they can do and therefore what you can't do, in their opinion, and you don't know what you actually are ahead in comparison to them. You don't know. But because you know everything about yourself, and you know your shortcomings, and you know your anxiety level, you know these HOCD things, you know these other things that bothers you, you think they don't have any of these problems. Bogus. Everybody on earth has some kind of an issue in their brain. OCD, intrusive thought, this and that, so forth, concern about this, inability to have self-esteem, or at the moment, not enough confidence, and they want to be better in physically or mentally. All this, everybody has some kind of an OCD. If not now, later. So this business of comparing yourself with other people is just as stupid as you say, let me compare myself to the bird. Well, it's a different species completely. But just because human beings look alike, that doesn't mean that they're actually similar or the same in their psyche as far as comparing yourself with them. They're similar in the psyche. Psyche of the human being is all the same, but they have different shit in it. But they have some kind of a shit in it. So thinking that you know what kind of shit is in your psyche, and because you know about your shortcomings, then that kind of is an evidence that others don't have shortcomings. It's just because you can't see what the hell is going on inside their heads. Otherwise, they all have the same problems, if not the same, similar. So, what are you comparing? Their looks? Who cares what do they look? It's not the look that makes you attractive to women, if that's what you're thinking. It's the way you treat the woman. It's the way you connect with them. It's the way you communicate with them. It's the way you treat them. It's the way you make them feel safe. It's the way that you protect them. It's the way you provide for them. It's the way that you're respectful to them. You understand them. You listen to them. You interact with them. So, haven't you seen so many ugly men, fat, bald, big, shitty, and stinky maybe, but they've got some gorgeous woman? Why? Maybe they're nice people. Yeah, maybe they've got lots of money, or they're into some shit that the woman wants the the provisions. But often it's not because the man is wealthy, it's because the man is a good man, reliable, makes the woman feel safe, and does his best to provide. And these are little things that everyone is capable of doing. So, what's this business of comparing yourself? Who is the idol? Who's the role model that you're trying to say? Comparing what? There is no shortcoming between you and the others unless you think it that way, and that's your problem. That's on you. And not being good enough for anyone. Well, that's your opinion. That's your OCD thinking, your intrusive thoughts thinking. Intrusive thoughts through the malfunctioning brain is going to cause and bring all these suggestions that you're talking about. This is not you. This is a suggestion of the brain that you're not good enough for anyone because your self-esteem is not. But instead of saying all this nonsense, you go and do what I told you about bringing your self-esteem and your confidence up by the little things that I told you about, the projects and the discussion that we had. Then your self-esteem will go up, your confidence will go up, and you're not thinking about this bullshit because you feel confident that you're too good for many women out there, and they have to qualify to get your attention rather than you just hope that they'll look at you. Well, what? What do you want them to look at you if they're not qualified, if they're not good enough? That's how you should be thinking. So build yourself, develop yourself from how we talked about, and then you qualify girls, not just think, oh, because she smiled at me, then she's perfect and she chose me. So I go, no. See who they are, where they come from, what's in their head, what's their plan, how do they live, what's their lifestyle, what's their thinking? Are we compatible or not? Expect standards and higher standards, then you will get it. If you don't expect anything, you'll get pieces of shit. All right. And stop comparing yourself. It's the most idiotic thing to do. Thomas Joseph says, I have a question, even though I do not care anymore, as that is in the past. Everything has stopped, but I just want to know the science behind it. Once this HOCD was triggered, what in the brain caused? Look, I've discussed this. This is a long discussion. There are videos that I have on HOCD and explains to you what's happening in there. I can't go through it right now, Thomas. It's an elaborate discussion. Again, whenever you could, if you wanted to make an appointment through my site, then we'll be able to have enough time to discuss it from A to Z. But even so, it's not going to be enough. But I have the videos available for you that you don't have to make an appointment with me, and you can just find the videos and look at them and understand the sequence and what happens and so on and so forth. And again, that question itself, even though you say you don't care, but you're looking for assurance, just give it up. Say, fuck it. I don't care. I really don't care. Thoughts are thoughts. Intrusive thoughts are intrusive thoughts. I don't need to know how it started. Okay, it's good. But I have explained all that in videos. And you want to watch them. That's fine. Learn it. Wisdom, knowledge is great. But you're not doing it just for the knowledge. You're doing it because you want to make sure everything is okay with you. And that's not something weird or something that doesn't happen. It happens to so many people that you can't even count. And Thomas says all these shitty images to get produced in my head. Literally, just want to know the science. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, the science I've already discussed this. As I said, it's a long discussion, and you can find the videos and look at them. But I think you're looking for more than just the science. You're looking for assurances. Thomas says, is it just the neurons misfiring? And they stop this bullshit. You don't need to know what the hell. You just need to know that whatever is happening is not in line with your values, and you're not, in agreement with this. You don't enjoy it, and that's the end of it. So, if it's doing something that you're not agreeable to it, that means it's a malfunction. Now, the actuality of it, how it is, and so on and so forth, you can make an appointment. We'll talk about it because it's too much talking here. And a Blaze Monkey says, Mayron, before you said, who do you think are? Who do you think you are, I guess? In what context did I say that? Should I not hold high expectations of my, should I? No, that's not what I meant. You're twisting the words. When I say who you do you think you are, that is when you actually had said something that expected something. I mean, the context is not mentioned here, so I can't really comment on it. But definitely, that's not about you not expecting high from yourself. Not at all. So I believe I can accomplish great things, and I see other people achieving great things at my age. Yeah, fine. Oh, because of your age? Well, there are certain things that is normal for your age to expect from yourself. But when you expect more than what you should expect, you're doing a disservice to yourself. You're causing yourself to be put down in your morality, in your morals, and in your expectation of yourself, in your comfort zone, in your confidence. And because you're expecting something that is not the age for you to understand or to accomplish. And just because the others have accomplished some things, well, you're comparing yourself with them. It doesn't mean you have to do it. You will do when you're ready, you will do when you feel like it. Don't do it just because others have done it. Do it because you want to, and you're ready, and you want to take a challenge, or you want to develop yourself to something, some different version of yourself. That's all fine. But don't feel obligated at this age. You have to accomplish big things. What big things? What for? 17 years. Enjoy your life for now. Go through high school. Get prepared for college. That's all. You will accomplish important tasks when you're ready and when you have some important tasks to accomplish. So I see people going to Olympics or doing lots of things at 17, whereas I have got my standout accomplishments. Really, I also hate that my mere existence causes pressure on my parents. What kind of a nonsense you're talking about? Why are you talking like this? Why do you think it's pressure on them? Why you devalued yourself? Why do you expect yourself to go to Olympic at 17? Who the fuck wants to do all these things? You just need to have a normal school time with your friends and sports and fitness and learn things and focus on your studies, and that's what is expected of you. That's all. And that's all you should expect from yourself at this age. The ones who have gone to Olympics now, you have no idea what other things they have lost to get that Olympic bullshit going. What for? What the fuck is that 17-year-old go to Olympics? So what? So what? What is it going to do to you the rest of your life? If that was something you wanted to do, go ahead and accomplish it. But just because other people have done, that's not supposed to be, a evidence or a reason for you to also want to do it. What does that mean? Or what have they accomplished once they got the Olympic shit? What is their life set now? Oh, I was in Olympic. Okay. Well, if you are in that training since childhood and you develop and expand and you become an expert, and then eventually you are, invited to nationals and so on and so forth, and you end up going to a team in Olympics, great, wonderful, wunderbar. But if you're not in some kind of a sport and some kind of a activity that would develop to that, Then why all of a sudden you should envy the ones who have done it and panic that I haven't done it? So what the fuck happens with the ones who have done it? So where are they going? Nothing. So if you're in that line and if you're interested in that and you've been training, all means go to Olympic. Who says no? Great. But there are other priorities in life that you can see it will help your future maybe a little bit better. So I remember I was in equestrian. I'd won many championships and international event and national events, and I was very good at it. We just creamed the shit out of it. 64 other riders in one evening. It was a very tough competition, and I was just 21. And my the colonel said, my instructor, who was a graduate from the military school of riding in France, Saumur, France, said 6 months work, you're in Olympics. And that was true. I was a very good equestrian rider. But I had to go to university. You know, I had to go to university. I was 17 or 18 when he said that. But I chose to go to university because I knew that's my future. I got to do that in order to live in this world and make some money. The Olympic thing, okay, I would go and win something and I would change the course and become a trainer in the horses. And, that wasn't something I was ready for or wanted to do. As much as I had plans for having a school of riding and so on, but I had a great plan, but it wasn't going to happen. So going to Olympic, I had to make a decision. Is it the university that I'm accepted and I'm about to leave, or 6 months later go to Olympic and then what? Okay, something good or something not good will happen. So what? So just because you have the opportunity to go to Olympic, or some people have gone to Olympic, that doesn't mean that's end all be all. For you or for me, it wasn't in the cards, so we chose something else. So stop comparing yourself about what other people have done at age 17, and stop becoming someone who thinks unless I accomplish this, then I'm nothing, and all that bullshit. And I'm a pressure to my parents. What the fuck you talking about? They're raising you with love and care, and you think of them as if you're a pressure. You want to go crazy, go nuts. That's how you disrespect the efforts and the love that they're giving you, by putting some kind of a bullshit on yourself, thinking that you're not worth it for the services and love that you receive. That's not what any parents hoped for. So correct that. Stop the bullshit. Love yourself. Love your opportunities. Love your life. Enjoy your life. Don't expect too much. All these other things you want to accomplish, the challenges will come throughout your life that you say, oh, fuck, I don't want any more challenges. I just want to rest. I just want to enjoy. I just want to have fun. And you look back at 17 and say, fuck, that was a good life. I didn't have to do anything. Everything was prepared for me. My parents were gracious and providing everything for me. And I was just studying and having friends and maybe playing some sports, and that was it. It was beautiful. That's now. Enjoy this time. Stop the nonsense and the comparing and the bullshit and extraordinary expectations to do what? To show off? Your ego is hitting off? Go get yourself developed with the ways that I said, and go, get a girlfriend and enjoy your life. And you go to college, and then eventually when you graduate, then it's time for you to see what you can accomplish in this world and go do it. And don't try to get fucking attention with these bullshit questions, because you know damn well that what you're saying is a way to kind of excuse yourself for things that you should have accomplished and you can accomplish, and they're easy, but you have put them aside or put them back and on the back burner, and you're just being lazy, including your studies. You can do better studies. You don't have to create these kind of questions to get some kind of a there you're okay, and then use that excuse as okay, then I'm okay. Like it's an attention seeking. Be realistic to yourself. Love yourself, enjoy your life, appreciate your parents, what they're doing for you, and be a good student, be a good person. And then you go to college, and eventually it would be time to meet more challenges in life, and then you'll perform as you should then. Good, Armin. Good. Good, Thomas. Good. Swamya Telange says, hi, sir, female 18. Hello, Swamya. Uh, Swami says, why I'm going in a phase of life where I'm not interested in relationship like earlier I was crazy for boyfriend and all, but now I feel like it's boring and all these things are making my HOCD worse. Again, you got to educate yourself about HOCD. It's not a curse of the seven C's. It's just a glitch in the brain, and you can learn and educate yourself and rewire the brain. It's just not a permanent thing. Who cares? There's so much explanation I've done on videos. I'm not going to be able to do it here over and over because just my mouth goes dry. And 25 minutes later, I'm just going nuts by having repeated all these things. But the videos are there. There are over 500 of them. Just put HOCD and see what comes. And from the titles, choose the ones that you want and enjoy and educate yourself. And you will see it's not a death sentence, for heaven's sake. And everybody has some kind of an OCD. And they all have to learn how to deal with it because you got to learn how this machine works. The inner movement of the psyche, the knowledge about it, it helps you to know the glitches and how to deal with it and how to help the brain to come out of these sort of malfunctions. And about the fact that you are no longer at the time interested in boys, because when you were younger, it was a mystery what it is to have a boyfriend. And for boys, what it is to have a girlfriend. It was the whole world is just love and sex and intimacy and pleasure, and all these things were just amazing new things. But when you have kind of somehow experience to some extent of this sort of relationships, then you get to age 18, you're maturing a little bit, and you find there are more important things for you to focus than just wishing for a boyfriend. And your college is coming along soon, and then you got to make sure you're educated to get some kind of a job or start a job on your own, a project, and make money and put food on table. And then, with the education and time that has passed and what you've accomplished of yourself, and then the challenges of life and so on and so forth, that's what you're focused on because you're maturing. And then after having gone through these sort of experiences, then if you meet someone decent, then you may turn your head and see what makes them unique and if they're qualified or not. At this time, you're not seeing a fruition to any relationship. You're 18 and you've got things ahead of you, and you find it boring because where's it going to go? I don't have time to just be in a relationship for nothing. Where's it going to go? And I don't have the time. It's not the right time to go through a relationship because you got other things that you want to take care of. So for that reason, you find it boring because it's not time for you to focus on some things that is very important, but other priorities at the time are taking its place of this thing. They're more important to you, other challenges at this time, than having a boyfriend. That's why having a boyfriend becomes boring. But when you find the right person at the right time, then it won't be boring because you're ready to accept a relationship and be involved in a relationship. Right now, you're not. Whether it's because some experience you had in the past or whether it's because there are other priorities that you can see since you're maturing for your future, well, naturally, you will put this in the back burner because the other things are more concerning than pleasure. And that's fine. Especially they haven't really found at age 17, 16, or 18, you don't find really serious boys or men who are really ready to take responsibilities of a relationship or make something out of it. And you're a serious person. You don't want to just fool around right now. You just, are looking for something serious, but not now. But you know that when it's time, you will. And the fact that you have HOCD, it distracts you from what it is that you're really interested, because you're worried about, what is this? How can I deal with this? Is it permanent? Is it changing me? All these nonsense questions is going to affect your mood and your energy level to want to be in a relationship, because you're hoping to deal with this one first, then I will then see if I'm ready for a relationship. So it's just a distraction, not that you've lost attention or interest in boys, but the fact is that this HOCD business and intrusive thoughts is distracting you. Otherwise, that interest for the boy is still there. It's like you're trying to um, see through the window the scenery of trees and ocean and the birds flying and all that, but suddenly you don't see it well and you say, oh, what happened to them? Well, nothing. They're still there. Only the window is so dirty right now, lots of bird shits and lots of dust and things, that you can't see through it. So it's not that the stuff out there is not there anymore, it's vanished. It's just you got to clean up the window. In other words, you're distracted with the HOCD, and it's not that you've lost the interest of the boys and the things that you were always interested in the past, but the distraction doesn't let you focus on what is out there naturally in you. And that is really what you should focus on, and take a break from it and learn and educate yourself about HOCD and understand how it behaves and what it is. And then you'll rest assured you'll become relaxed and you'll learn how to deal with it through Dr. Schwartz's 4 step and the understanding of the behavior of the brain and the glitch and malfunction of the signaling system of the brain. And then you relax and eventually, see all the things that you thought is not there. It's boring right now. It's not. The window is clean. The distraction is gone. Your clarity is back, and you can see everything as it always was out there. The ocean, the trees, the birds, everything is there. Correct, Thomas. That's right. You wouldn't even question this sort of thing. But now your awareness finds it contradictory to your values, and there is an awareness only when there's a contradiction. And when these images and thoughts and suggestions that the brain makes, and it's not you, it's the brain, brings about an awareness, that's because there's a contradiction between what the brain suggests and thoughts and images and what your values and your inclination and your nature is. And this awareness of a contradiction, this awareness tells you there's a contradiction, and the contradiction is clear because it's totally not in line with your values. So what you said here is right. All right. And Muhammad Ansari says, I wasted 2 years for long term for medical exam. I'm 20. My friend moved 2 years forward in life. So you wasted 2 years. That's the decision you made then. Why are you regretting it now? If you keep wanting to think about the mistake you made 2 years ago, it's going to be another 2 years before you forget that what mistake you made. You're going to waste another 2 years. So stop this comparison. You did what you did, and the decision you made at the time you made the decision, you thought it's a correct decision. That's why you made it. If you didn't think it was correct, you didn't have enough reasons to think that's the decision you should make, you wouldn't have made it. Because you made it, that's the decision you thought is the best decision for you at the time. But later on, you realize, oh, I fucked up. I shouldn't have made that decision. Well, that's too late. And at the same time, it's a way for you to learn this lesson and then don't redo it again. Stop comparing. Just do what you think is best for you after your consideration and your research and thinking deep and judging well and figuring out what is the best decision for you to make. And you didn't do it last time, so do it this time. And don't compare with your friend that is 2 years forward. Who gives a shit? Focus on what you got to do now. That's all. And Christopher Equilin says, thank you for everything. You're quite welcome. And thank you very much for mentioning that. Armin says, I heard a therapist say, you are really... No, that's okay. I mean, these therapists are just fucking idiots. They have no knowledge of OCD and OCD subsets such as HOCD. They're not an expert in OCD, and they just make shit up because they're idiots. So don't you even listen to this garbage, because that means these people are not qualified, and you're talking to a therapist that is his head is in his ass so far that he can't even know what is he talking about. People, there are scientists and psychotherapists and psychologists who have spent their lifetime researching on this fucking neuroscience and neuroscience of habit and this whole business of OCD and OCD subset. And this asshole, whoever it is, just opens his mouth and says shit, and you believe that? Come on, do some real research and understand and learn and educate yourself, and don't be subjected to the bullshit of these idiots. There you go. There you go. Thomas, let him know. Saumya says, I just started my college, living in hostel, and yeah, I see boys have attraction, but I don't feel like dating. Well, don't. You don't feel like dating, don't. It doesn't mean just because you don't feel like dating, that means like the attraction is never going to be there. When the right person shows up, you'll be amazed what attraction is. It's always been there. Suddenly it shows up. And says, my friends are in relationship except me. Well, so what? Your friends could be playing tennis, but you. What does that mean? You're not interested in that at the moment. You have other things that have got priorities, so you don't have time for the tennis. That's fine. Same thing. They're in relationship, so big fucking deal. They're in relationship. You're not interested at the moment. You're distracted, or you have other priorities, or you're maturing. You have had these experiences, and you don't think that it's just interesting, or somehow it doesn't interest you at this moment. No big deal. Nothing is permanent, but that's what you're going through, and that's fine. Why do you compare yourself in regards to what your friends are doing? Everybody has a different journey, and these friends, maybe they have many other problems that you don't know about, but just because they're in a relationship and their life is all hunky-dory, but you're the one who's challenged and dealing with something. No, we're all dealing with some shit. And there we go. The type of boys that you're interested, they're not interested in you, and the boys who love you, you're not interested in them. That's the exact natural and balanced thing, the one thing that you said tonight. And that's the way it is for almost every one of us. And that's normal. Relax. Enjoy your life. Everything comes to where it's supposed to be when it's time. All right, guys. It's been 1 hour and 25 minutes, and we had a great live stream. And thank you for being here and giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I love you all, and I look forward to our next live stream. In the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. Take care of yourself and promote the goddamn channels. Don't forget. I'll talk to you soon. Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mindthatseekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.